a look at this picture of new father Elton John. There he is, looking ecstatic, embracing the joys of fatherhood on a family day out with his 2-month-old baby boy, Zachary. Now, this is obviously a side to the flamboyant pop star that not many of us have seen. So, does that mean that babies bring out the same kind of effect in all of us? Do you get all gooey when you see a baby?
No, I don't. Funny enough, I don't, especially when they're at that little tadpole-y stage. Right when they're little people, when they're little tadpoles in the nappies, no. But I'm very impressed with Elton. I think he'll make a great father. He rang me up when it was announced about the baby. And
he rang you up?
He rang me up and told me all about the birth in great detail.
I obviously lost my number, Janet.
Well, he rang me up and said, the baby's head came out. I went, too much information. I don't want to know. But I think he'll be a great dad because he's been a great godfather to all his godchildren. He also, I think, loves his pets, and I think that demonstrates that if you can care for animals, which obviously I have no children and no pets, therefore I'll be a lousy mother, I think he'll make a great dad.
But what are you like with little babies, though? Are you good with babies? I mean, would you be if somebody said, yeah?
Well, I did a TV series where I had to be a midwife. I know. I worked in Barnsley Hospital for 2 weeks as a trainee midwife, nursing assistant, and I actually did deliver 2 babies. One was a caesarean, where it kind of got, you know, without going into too much grisly detail, at lunchtime, you know, the baby popped out and...
They zip open, don't they?
They zip out, comes out of a new letterbox you never had in your body before. And the mother said, I said, shall I hand you the baby? She went, oh, no, give it a wash first. So... and I tied the cord and
But
all
I have
that.
to say, can you imagine going into a hospital, heavily pregnant, feeling not too good with the contractions, and somebody says, here's your nurse, Janet Street Porter.
You know, to be honest, I was going to say, to be honest, they'd be the quickest labour pains ever.
Get the quickest baby out, get out.
Well, you know what? I think from the time they put Shane Jr. in my arms, everything changed. It was just instant. And I know, you know, it must be so difficult for women who don't get that, because there's a lot of women who feel bad that they don't get that instant love. Sure. It takes time. But for me, it was absolutely instant, and my life completely changed from that moment. My priorities in life, and just this love that you don't have for anything else except your children.
Was that a side to you that people hadn't necessarily seen? Because with Elton John, obviously, we've never seen him as a father figure before, but were you always very maternal?
Yeah, always. I've always loved, you know, even when I was little myself, I loved babies, you know, and I always wanted baby dolls. I never wanted your Barbies and all of that. I wanted baby dolls that I could push around in a pram. And to be honest with you, I mean, I was very lucky because, you know, I managed to have 3 children naturally, and it all happened normally, because it would have been the worst thing of my life if I'd been told, because I just assumed that I would always one day have children, and they did change my life.
Well, we always had poodles, and I pushed them around in the pram. And one day I knew it wouldn't just be a poodle.
And it wasn't... I had one dolly, but I pulled the arms off. Moved straight onto Lego.
That is too much information. The only thing is, it took me 8 years to have Keely, so Keely to me was and is the love of my life. And I always remember, you know, holding her on my chest and kissing her, and the midwife said, now that's true love. And it was and always has been. But the only thing I'll say about having a baby is that they don't come out with a little booklet. You know, they go, here, this is what you do with me. Do they? They go, what do you do with this end? And what do you do with that end? And you've no idea. And you take them home and you just put them on a table and go, what does it do? It poos and it eats, doesn't it?
It's true. It's true. It should come with at least a little label sort of somewhere here saying, you know, like wash a delicate... feed every 2 hours. Yeah. No, I remember when I got home with Finley, obviously my first. I remember we got home, we put him in the car seat, you know, in the middle of the floor, and you know, they're so little then, they're all kind of crumpled sitting in the car seat, and I got really cross. I said, why have they let me home? It's completely obvious I don't know what I'm doing. It's their fault. It's the hospital's fault, if anything. And I had to ring my cousin, Heather, who'd had 3 babies, and said, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I didn't know what to do. How do you make a feed in case, you know, breastfeeding doesn't work?
I could have mixed up your bottle for you. I did learn that in the hospital. Oh, my God. I could mix up the bottle. I don't know about the nappy changing bit, though.
But what did you put in the bottle? That's what would worry me.
No, I know all the powdered milk and all of that. Yeah.
I think what's amazing, though, is you feel that with your first, and then
Yeah.
you think you can't possibly feel that love again for
I
another
did
baby.
worry about that.
And, you know, with all three of mine, it was instant, and it was
Yes.
that kind of love for all three. So.
I know, because I had a Weimaraner, and that wasn't as much love as the poodle. But then it became a lot of love because I loved the Weimaraner, but he was so much bigger, of
Say though,
course.
Sherry, that must have been a hell of a labour.
Took more than 8 years. OK, if you've got any comments